Well, hello and welcome back to another edition of Backcountry Trails. In this episode, we're going to be taking a drive out to the Palm Springs area, Desert Hot Springs, Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage area of the Coachella Valley in the Sonoran Desert. And we're going to be taking a trip into Murray Canyon, and we're going to try to see if we can get to the Seven Sisters waterfalls. Murray Canyon and Seven Sisters, along with Andreas Canyon and a few others, is in the Indian Canyon region of the Agua Caliente band of Indians. It's on the reservation. There is a gate as you drive up to it. There's a toll booth, sort of say, and you'll have to pay the trespass fee or the hiking permit fee at the booth, and drive on to the reservation. And I have to say, after going there and experiencing Murray Canyon and the Kaufman Trail and the parking area for Andreas Canyon, it was a very well taken care of area. Obviously, the Agua Caliente band of Indians takes pride in their canyon, and talk about, boy, lucking out and getting a good spot, man. That was an absolutely stunning canyon with water flowing down and oases, palm groves everywhere, friendly staff. And it was a great hike. It was a short hike. It was only, according to all trails, it's like 3.75 just from Murray Canyon to the falls and back. But on the way back, I took a side trail, and I went up and over a ridgeline to the Kaufman Trail, and I added another probably 2 miles maybe to the hike. So it was only about a 5.5 mile hike for the day. It was pretty easy. There wasn't that much incline, and it was just a fabulous day. The water was flowing pretty good at the Seven Sisters waterfall. And I was actually able to wade out into the falls and get right down underneath this cave where the water was cascading down through the rocks. So that was pretty special. Anyway, that'll all be coming up next in this edition of Backcountry Trails. My trip out to Murray Canyon in the Agua Caliente band of Indians out in the Palm Springs area. That'll all be coming up next. Stick around. Well, good morning and welcome back out to another edition of Backcountry Trails. Today I'm taking a drive, kind of a long drive actually, down into the Palm Desert area, the lower Coachella Valley, and it's almost a 2-hour drive for me. But the reason I'm heading down here, there's a trail I've been wanting to do for a while. I've seen it several times. It's called the Murray Canyon Trail to the Seven Sisters waterfall. I don't think there's 7 waterfalls. I don't know why they call it Seven Sisters, but it's actually on the Agua Caliente Indian Reservation. So as you get down into the Palm Desert, you'll have to actually make a turn off of Palm Canyon Highway. You'll have to go through a checkpoint and actually pay an entrance fee to get into what's called the Indian Canyon area. And we have a phenomenal view today as we're working our way down canyon, down from the Palms to Pines Highway, which is what it's called. Sometimes people call it Spines to Pines. So anyway, this is going to drop me down from highway. This is on 74 from the upper elevations near the Santa Rosa National Monument down into the Palm Desert region. In fact, I'm going to be driving right by the Art Smith Trail and the trail for Dead Indian Canyon, which I was just at. So once I get down to the bottom, I'm going to be making a turn on Palm Canyon Drive, and I'm going to wind my way around to the Agua Caliente Indian Reservation and start working my way on the trail that's going to go to Seven Sisters Waterfall. Murray Canyon, the trail is not that far. It's only 3.7 miles, I think, and it's got less than 1,000 feet of elevation gain, which is kind of nice. I do have to cross the water several times, I think 4 or 5 times, and even though it is winter, there's not a whole lot of water in there, but there's enough that you can't avoid it. So I brought my old beat-up trail running shoes, my Ultra Lone Peaks, and I'm planning. This guy's riding his bicycle up the hill. Boy, that takes some courage there. I would be doing that, but I do have to cross the water several times, and at the very end there'll be a little bit of a boulder scramble, but not too bad. Hopefully I'll get a good shot at the waterfall, and maybe if I get lucky I'll see a bighorn sheep today. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Well, anyways, I'm working my way down the canyon. The bighorn do come out, and they are sometimes right near the road here, so I do have to keep my eyes open, not only on the highway so I don't run off the cliff, but also looking out for bighorn sheep. So anyway, I should be there in about 30 minutes, I think. And then once I get through the checkpoint, pay my fee, we'll start the hike up to Murray Canyon. That'll all be coming up next in this edition of Backcountry Trails. Stick around. As I'm winding the corner, I'm turning my head. Kind of reminds me of that the canary in the cage in the birds. Palm Springs, actually Palm Desert, and I guess this is actually Rancho Mirage. I'm going to be coming up on the turn here in a couple of miles. I'm going to be making a left on Sunrise. If you can see this on the camera, up to the left is San Jacinto. That's San Jacinto Peak. It's 10,804 feet. It's the second highest peak in Southern California. And I'm going to be making a turn here in a few minutes. But I wanted to mention, I just drove by, like this area of Rancho Mirage is kind of a very affluent area. All in a row, I came across a Ferrari car dealer next door to a Rolls-Royce dealer, next to a Land Rover dealer, and followed that up with an Audi dealer. So all four high-end luxury car dealerships, all on the same side of the road, all connected. So, and I've already seen a Ferrari and a Rolls-Royce just in the short time I've driven through here. So a lot of money out here in Palm Springs. You know, Frank Sinatra lived here, Bob Hope lived here. Quite a few other celebrities lived up here in the canyons. And in fact, on one of the hikes that I went to the Bob Hope house on the way to Cahuilla Mountain, not the last Cahuilla I just did, but the other Cahuilla. And I also went by the house that they used in one of the episodes, or in the filming of one of the James Bond movies. So anyway, this is all a really rich, affluent area in Palm Springs, in a Rancho Mirage Palm Desert. And my turn's going to be coming up here in a couple of miles. I'm going to be turning left on Sunset Highway, I think it is, Sunrise Highway, and working my way up to the Agua Caliente Indian Reservation. And in the meantime, you get this great view of San Jacinto. Well, this is a little interesting change. The area where I was parked at was marked the trailhead for the Murray Canyon Trail, but I looked at my All Trails map and I wasn't even close. So it would have cut the distance to this trail in half, and what's the point of that? The trail is only 3.7 anyway. So I'm going to go to the Andreas trailhead, and from there I can also catch the trail that goes all the way up to Seven Sisters. Alright, so this is just an offshoot of the Andreas Canyon parking area. So this is where I'm going to be going. This is, I guess, where you park for the Murray Canyon Trail, I'm assuming. Here it says no parking. So maybe I don't park here. Gotta park somewhere. Maybe over here. Alright, well this looks a little more like it. This must be the trailhead parking area. Yeah, it says parking area. So this is the parking area for Murray Canyon and Seven Sisters. This looks a little more like it. Well, I finally reached it out to the Murray Canyon Trail that goes out to Seven Sisters out here in the Agua Caliente Indian Reservation. And it was funny when I went through the entrance gate and I drove down, I followed the signs to Murray Canyon, and I ended up parking down there where those outhouses were, a great big huge flat parking lot. And then there was the sign that said that was the start of the trail. And after looking at it on the map, on all trails, I realized I wasn't even anywhere near where I was supposed to start. I was actually halfway through the trail already. That side trail met up with the trail that goes to Seven Sisters from another parking lot. And that would have eliminated this gorgeous view down here in this somewhat scorched palm grove. So I drove back down toward the entrance gate, came back over, and I took the side route over to Andreas Canyon and came across a whole bunch of people parked at Andreas Canyon. That's only a 1 mile loop hike, so that's almost anybody can do that. This one's a little further. It's not that much further, but so I continued down the dirt trail and dirt road, and I came across another parking area for Murray Canyon, which is where I wanted to be in the first place. So anyway, I'm going to start my hike here at Murray Canyon and head over toward Seven Sisters waterfall already. Follow me up the trail. Nice, cool, cloudy day today. And I thought this sign was funny. It says, you're entering a wilderness area inhabited by a variety of wildlife, including rattlesnakes and mountain lions. Be aware of your surroundings. And the other thing you got to be careful of is it does say you must be out of here by 5 or they're going to tow your vehicle. And I've read that that does happen. But this is only a short hike. This is only a 3.5 mile, 4 mile hike, so I should be back in plenty of time. You know, as I'm starting my my hike down into Murray Canyon, as soon as I got out of the car, at the other trailhead as well as this one, 2 things hit me. Overwhelming sense of the smell of sagebrush. Very, very strong sense of the desert landscape, creosote. And the other thing that hit me on this trail is the overwhelming smell of horse shit. So evidently this is an equestrian friendly trail as well. In fact, right before I parked, I saw a sign that said equestrian tie-up area. So who knows, maybe I'll run into some horses along the way. I do have to cross the water several times on this hike, so I wore wool socks, some darn tough wool socks, as well as my old Lone Peak Ultra trail running shoes. I can just walk right through the water. I don't have to stop, take off my shoes and socks and wade through. I don't have to change out into water socks or sandals. I'll just plow right through it. Ought to save me some time for sure. Hopefully if I get lucky, since it's a cool day, maybe I'll get lucky and see some wildlife today. You never know. It's winter, so the rattlesnakes are probably still holed up in their den, but you never know. They might come out to get some sun later on. And who knows, maybe I'll see a rosy boa, or near the water there could be a good chance we could run into maybe a garter snake or something. Cross our fingers. And hopefully it won't be too crowded today. Hopefully that was the big rush right there. I would imagine that a lot of people that hike in this area, since it is so remote, are so close to civilization, that probably a hike. A lot of the elderly people that live out here in Palm Springs, the blue, what do they call them? Snowbirds. The snowbirds get here. People. I saw a car from Minnesota, another one from Alberta, Canada. So they come down here. They probably have vacation homes here, timeshares, and I'm sure they get up early and hit these trails right when they open. So I'm going to be going through about a mile or so of open desert terrain like this. There was a warning to make sure you're hydrated, and I have plenty of water. And it's not going to be that hot today, so it shouldn't be an issue. And because I'll be down by the water, I can always refill. I do have some water purification tablets if needed, but I doubt it. And this is my first view actually over toward the parking lot where I was parked before. Anyway, on the trail. Well, I just looked at the Seek app, and this is called fountain grass. It's very pretty along the trail here. Well, I know this says Jimson weed, but I guess the real name is Devil's Trumpet. We've only got a short distance on the trail. We've already come to a trail junction. Andreas Canyon south, the horse trail's to the left, and Murray Canyon Trail to Seven Sisters is to the right. On the way back, I might take the Kaufman Trail just for something different. I hear more hikers coming up behind me. As I'm working my way down into Murray Canyon, there was a group of like 20 that started off in front of me. And then quickly while I was filming, another group of 7 came up. I let them pass, and then they pulled over to admire the scenery. Actually, I think one of them had to pee. And now I hear more behind them. So I'm trying to work that fine line between hurrying up a little bit just to give myself a little more space between the groups. But I also don't want to rush myself through the trail, because at some point the Kaufman Trail is going to come in from the left. I'm going to be coming back that way, so I won't be coming back the same way. It'd be like a lollipop loop. And I can see the large group up ahead of me here. There's also a large, looks like a fan palm grove as well. I also have to keep my eyes open for bighorn. This might be a little too low for bighorn. Usually they like the higher up elevations and rocks, but you never know. I mean, they do come down into the wash in the Art Smith Trail, and I've seen them on other trails as well out in the desert, so you never know. I'll have to keep that ear open, listen for the sound of clacking horns or rocks kicked loose on the trail. Here comes another sign. Well, here's a nice palm grove. And another warning sign. Looks like they have a maintenance crew of some kind over there. This looks like our first view of water down here in the canyon. This nice, lush grove of palm trees. You can hear the water trickling. It looks like that's going to be our first water crossing right there. Now that I'm at the bottom, looks like I'm going to be able to avoid getting wet on this crossing. Can't say that for the other ones. Well, there's also an area on the map marked as Broken Boulder. I could just imagine that big slab chunk down at the bottom sheared off the side of that right there. Right near the creek. Along the trail, Murray Canyon. As I'm working my way into Murray Canyon, Broken Boulder is behind me. There's some phenomenal scalloped edge volcanic rocks up there that are cool. It sounds like we're going to be crossing some more water down here. Well, this looks like our second water crossing. I might be able to get over here without getting wet. That one's loose. You know, after I just crossed that second crossing, I came across this magnificent rock. Look at the striations in this rock. Right along the water course. You know, as I'm working my way further up into Murray Canyon, I'm in this spot right here, and I just got an overwhelming scent. Like I still smell it. Of onion. There must be wild onions growing somewhere near the water course. They need the water, so I would imagine they're probably somewhere down there along the water course. Maybe if I get lucky, I'll stumble upon some little cluster. So we're working our way back down near the water again. I see a huge barrel cactus up the trail here. Maybe we'll get a closer look at that in a minute. And also some outstanding rock features like these right here. You know, as we're working our way down along the trail, and you see all these magnificent palm trees, even the ones that are scorched. Did you know that palm trees aren't actually trees? They're actually grass. And it's all because of the root system. It doesn't have major, thick, fat, strong roots like a pine or an oak. It actually has very thin fibers, just thousands of them that reach way down into the soil, and that's how they absorb all their nutrients and moisture, is through the grass-like root system. Well, I just ran into 3 uniformed park personnel. They had 3 big trash bags full of trash and debris, and I thank them for their work. You know, if you ever see somebody doing maintenance along the trail, whether it's paid or volunteer, be sure to let them know that you appreciate it. This is nothing that irritates me more when I'm patrolling than picking up other people's trash. Well, I think this is our 5th water crossing. This one's a little more involved. Oh, and it's slippery too. That rock was definitely not as dry as some of the other ones, but still, so far, still dry. Well, there's our first look at some barrel cactus. Yeah, there's a little closer view of the barrel cactus. There's another one right over here. And yet one more with a young one next to it. Well, I'm working my way a little further up the canyon along the creek. You can see how these palms love the moisture. As I'm getting farther into the canyon, it's kind of starting to close in on me a little bit, and the water crossings are becoming more frequent and a little bit more challenging. And at some point I'm going to reach a section where I'm going to have to actually do a little boulder scrambling to get up to Three Sisters, or the Seven Sisters. Okay, here's the split for the Kaufman Trail. I think I'm going to take that back just for something a little different. This is like my 6th water crossing. This one has a tremendous view, a little cascade down there. So far, still nice and dry. Well, it looks like that's the waterfall down there. We're going to work our way over there here in a minute. Well, this is what's known as the Seven Sisters Waterfalls. There's an amazing rush of water coming down. There's a big splash that comes down from the recess in the rocks over there, and there's other avenues of the water cascading down. So this is a phenomenal view. I'll show you another video of inside the cave, inside Seven Sisters. The amount of volume of water that's crashing down on the rocks right here is amazing. Gorgeous place. all out here in the Indian reservation of Agua Caliente. They do charge to come out here and view this magnificent water feature. I got lucky, I'm older, so I only had to pay $7 for the senior pass, but it's only $12 if you are younger than me. Probably less if you're a student. Well, I am above Seven Sisters in Murray Canyon, and this is where the trail ends. So I'm going to turn around here, work my way back. Seven Sisters is just to my left. Well, you can see the canyon down below. And way off in the distance, you can see all of Greater Palm Springs, Palm Desert, some of the windmills. As we're working our way up to the right, looks like we're going to get some more great views of some barrel cactus. Well, I decided to take the Kaufman Trail on the way back, something different. And look what I ran into. It's an awesome looking, about a 3-foot tall barrel cactus. The trail that goes to Seven Sisters is down below me. I'm going to work my way up this ridge line and continue on up and over to a different canyon. It's going to loop around and meet back up with this trail not too far away. And we'll make this a lollipop loop. As I'm working my way back to the Andreas Canyon trailhead. Cool cactus, huh? You'd like to have that in your yard, wouldn't you? Wow, what a tremendous view from the Kaufman Trails. We're looking down over Metropolitan Palm Springs, Palm Desert. Well, this is the alternate trail, the Kaufman Trail. The actual trail that goes to Seven Sisters at Murray Canyon is down there. We're going to be going to the right up along the ridge line here. It looks like we're going to be going up and over those rocks right there. There's some tremendous aerial views looking down on the canyon. We've got some great barrel cactus, some cholla, and lots of rocks with reddish brown desert varnish. And this comes from just the extreme heat that they get down here in this area of Coachella Valley. It's not unusual to get temperatures above 120 degrees here in the summertime. And that's why I'm not here in the summer. Well, this is what I mean by desert varnish. It almost looks like this has been painted. All from the extreme heat. Well, this is known as teddy bear cholla. It looks soft and cozy and cuddly, and believe me, it's not. The field of barrel cactus down below, down the slope. Wow, what a tremendous view as we're working our way on the Kaufman Trail. Looks like we might be coming to the high point along the trail, because we'll know here in a second. Looks like here's another trail junction. The West Fork Trail. Oh, look at that. Very ominous sign. Hazardous conditions beyond this point. No water, no shade, no cell service. Wow. And this looks like where the Kaufman Trail continues downhill. It's like a great view spot right there. Let's go up there and check it out. Boy, what a tremendous view from this point, huh? I think I found my lunch spot. What do you think? I did bring a sit pad. I wasn't about to sit on the sharp rocks. I think I'll just sit right here. Have lunch. I brought a tuna sandwich and some Path alkaline water. I haven't had any water today. I'm just lucky it's not hot. Brought a tuna sandwich. This pack I'm using is brand new. I got it, of all places, at Goodwill for 20 bucks, brand new, with tags and everything. Bought 2 of them, one for me, one for my sister. And it's more of a laptop bag because it's got a real thick, heavily padded section in the middle with pads on both sides with a flap. And I thought, you know, that'd be perfect as a nice chest, a cooler for your sandwich. So I could afford to bring a tuna sandwich. I also put a cold pack in there, so it's nice and cold. And it looks like it's all downhill from here. Climbing really wasn't that bad. It was short. Well, this is one of the largest specimens of barrel cactus I've seen so far. There's a giant raptor flying right over the hill right here, soaring in the thermals. Let's go see if we can get a better look at him. Oh, wouldn't you know it, he's over there now. He's further away. Maybe we can get him to circle over this way. Well, it looks like we just missed that large raptor. He went down into the canyon, worked his way on that side. I shot some video with my phone, but I don't know. But man, we got a tremendous view down this ridge line. Palm Desert, Palm Springs is off to your left. And the continuation of Indian Canyon goes that way to your right. You know, it's funny looking down there. That's where I originally parked. That's the trail that says Murray Canyon. That's not where I'm going. I'm going to be going this way down the ridge back over to Andreas Canyon. And our trail does loop back in over here. Well, that was easy enough. Whole entire hike took 3 hours and 20 minutes. It's not bad at all. Back just in time to have a beer. The old PBR, I guess, huh? I mean, it's not too often you get to go out here to the desert, and especially the lower Sonoran Desert like this, and you get to do a hike of about probably 5 miles, because I went out the trail into Murray Canyon to Seven Sisters, and I went up above Murray Canyon into the backslide where the trail ends. And on the way back, I took the Kaufman Trail to the east, and it loops around a far ridgeline, drops you back down into that area where I was originally parked. And I worked my way all the way back over here to Andreas Canyon, to this parking lot, and I'm still the only vehicle here. So it's been overcast the entire day, which really helped with the temperature. And it was a busy trail, lots of people on the trail, a lot of elderly folks on the trail. I didn't see any children, nobody under 17 or 20 that I can remember. And that's probably because it's a weekday and it's school's back in session. So primarily the people that are out here are people that are snowbirds from Minnesota and Connecticut and North Dakota, or they're just elderly people that live in the nearby area that decide to come up here and take a nice leisurely hike along the water course out of Seven Sisters. Well, anyway, it was a great hike. I got to remember this one. It was actually pretty easy to get to, and if I had more time, I'd team this up with Andreas Canyon, or I would do something along with this hike. But being that I'm running short on time, I'm going to get a few drinks here, and I got some Gatorade and a Monster drink in the car, and then I'm going to work my way back. I think it almost took as long to get here as it did to do the hike. It took me over two two and a half hours to get here. And I started hiking at about 9-ish, and I got done at 12:45. And that's with the extra time that I took at the falls. So, and I took another 20 minutes at the top of that peak to have lunch. It was a pretty easy hike. It's the incline going out to Seven Sisters was a piece of cake. And even the incline going up the top of the Kaufman Trail was nothing. Coming down was a little steeper, but coming down for me is always easier. So. And I've never seen so many signs. There's a great signage. The Agua Caliente tribe of Indians did an excellent job maintaining the trail. I didn't see any trash along the way. There's signs everywhere. I did see a couple of spots that had the only thing I could think of was either their trail cams or their emergency phones. It looked like a phone PBX box mounted on a pole with a solar array on top. So I'm thinking that's for emergency, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I'm going to finish my beer and have a snack or two and then make that long drive home. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Backcountry Trails. My trip out to Murray Canyon and the Seven Sisters waterfalls along the backside of the San Jacinto Mountains in Agua Caliente tribal area. Don't forget, if you do come here, you do have to pay the Indian tribe to trespass onto their land, and it's well worth it. If it was $20, I would still say it'd be worth it. My guess is I would probably stay away from a Saturday or a Sunday or a holiday weekend, just because it's really busy. But on a day like today, especially when it's cool, when it's overcast, it's a great day. Well, anyway, hope you liked it. Don't forget to hit that click and subscribe button, and tell your friends about the channel. And I'll see you down the trail. Alrighty, take care. Well, what'd you think about the adventure out to Murray Canyon and Seven Sisters waterfall? It was a pretty amazing hike. I mean, for as short as it was and as easy as it was just a tremendous day. Anytime you are out in the desert and it's a cool overcast day, you just got to count your blessings. It can get really, really hot out there. Down in the lower Coachella Valley, that area, it's routine to hit 120 in the summer. So that's why this is primarily a winter hike, something you would do in January and February, not something you're going to do in August. But anyway, it was a great adventure. It was nice doing the little side trip up to the top of the ridgeline on the Kaufman Trail and working my way back down to Andreas Canyon. And that'll be maybe a hike I'll do another day. Taquit's Canyon is also on their on their reservation, and that's something I might be looking forward to in the future as well. Anyway, in the next episode, I'm going to be taking a drive out toward Idlewild to a place called Thomas Mountain. And I've seen Thomas Mountain from Fire Lookout, from Taquit's Peak especially, 100 times. I've actually driven the fire service road all the way up and over Thomas Mountain, through Little Thomas Mountain, and back down to Lake Hemet. And this time I'm going to be in a uniform patrol. I'm going to be driving the Forest Service road. There's about 10 yellow post campsites that are remote campsites. There's no services. There's no bathroom. There's no flowing water, things like that. There is one, Toolbox Springs, actually does have a vault restroom, but the other 9 do not. So whenever you go backcountry camping at a yellow post campsite, you are self-contained. So pack it in, pack it out, and make sure you have enough supplies with you. It is a Forest Service road to get up and around there. So it's not too bad as far as Forest Service roads go. It's better than most. I'll be taking the Jeep, and I'll probably have it in 4-wheel drive, but I probably really won't need it. There's a storm system that's coming in, and it's been raining today, and I don't think it'll bring any snow at that elevation because the top of Thomas Mountain is just a hair over 6,000 feet, so it should be good. That'll be coming up next in the next edition of Backcountry Trails. If I get out there, I'm hoping to get out there. And in the meantime, don't forget to hit that click and subscribe button and tap that notification bell, and obviously tell the friends about the channel. And the only other thing I wanted to mention, I know we had some hikers who were injured on Mount Baldy. Actually, 3 fatalities on Baldy. Just at the northern end of Thomas Mountain is Lake Hemet. And just last week, there was a group of hikers that went up there, and they got separated, and then when they got back to their vehicle, they waited for the other group, another group of 4 that had returned. So they ended up calling Riverside County Search and Rescue out. They ended up searching for him. One of the hikers decided to retrace the steps of the group and decided to go back toward Lake Emmett by Thomas Mountain somewhere, I'm assuming, and somehow got lost and actually fell 150 feet and succumbed to injuries during the fall. So the next morning, search and rescue went out. Their helicopter responded, and they actually found and recovered the body. So here we go again. Somebody that was unprepared, didn't know his terrain, didn't know the conditions. And unfortunately, even though his thoughts were pure, that he was going to go, rescue the other hikers, unfortunately fell to his death. The hikers he were looking for were actually located by the helicopter and air hoisted out of the canyon they were in and made it back safely. So the only one that died was the guy that went looking for him to save him. So that's sad. So anyway, hope you like this episode, and look forward to the next one as I do a patrol up on Thomas Mountain. That'll all be coming up next in the next edition of Backcountry Trails. Take care.